I'm Barry Tramel, and I have an idea for Scotty Brooks on how to get his team to play defense quicker into the game.
He might be ready to listen to any and all suggestions. From the Opelco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson. Press Row is sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. Barry, they got going in the second half over the weekend against a really good New York Knicks team, held them to 38 points in the second half. But apparently it took a paint-peeling speech by Scott Brooks at halftime. What should he do earlier?
Well, this has become a season-long trend. When the Thunder gets around to playing good defense, it's usually in the second half. Have very poor defensive first quarters and first halves. So I've got an idea for Brooks. Pre-game scrimmage. Bring those guys out an hour, 35, 40 minutes before the game, whenever the opposing team is cleared to court, and scrimmage for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes. Make Durant go against Thabo. Make Eric Maynor go against Russell Westbrook. Make Kirstich guard Serge. Make all those guys work up a good sweat. It's obvious that they're not getting out of the gate quick enough. Pre-game scrimmage. Abe Lemons, many years ago, had his team scrimmage at halftime because he was so displeased with the first half performance. That's not the answer for Brooks. Scrimmage before the game.
Well, it's not out of the realm of possibilities on the list of ideas because it was obvious in the first half. The Knicks were getting everything that they wanted in that game. Dunks, layups, putbacks, tip-ins. It was all, for the most part, easy baskets. The second half, when the Thunder decided that the scheme they had was good and they were just going to play better, they held them to 38 points. They had no fast break points, did the Knicks, after halftime. So these guys clearly needed that kick in the backside. I talked to Kevin Durant before the game the other night against the Knicks, and he said, you know, we know that we're not a team that can just flip a switch and win 10 games in a row. And I think that same philosophy holds with not really being able to just flip a switch and win a game. But it showed in this game that when they play defense, they can turn a game around. And it's shocking, Barry, for a team, and especially when the leader knows, the team knows, that they can't just win games by showing up. To not have better first halves, it's really shocking to me.
Well, the good news out of this deal is that we know the Thunder is still capable of playing the lockdown defense they played a year ago. But what I would do if I was Scott Brooks is this. I would show clips of the game from Saturday night, and I would not show defensive possessions. I would show the Thunder's reaction after those possessions. I saw more overt frustration, more ball slammed to the court, more facial frustration than at any point this season. The Thunder was obviously upset with itself. Scott Brooks needs to show that to those guys and say, hey, listen, this is what happens when you guys don't play defense. And you know you were upset. This is what happened. Find that zone where you were able to play that tough defense. If we get to that point, the game is free, the game is easy, the game is fun. So let's find that defense.
Yeah, and I think, who else was sharing in that frustration that the team had against the Knicks was the fans. You could hear the grumbles and the moans. Those easy baskets, I think that, you could see the Thunder, it wasn't like they were getting blown out. So they were scoring as well, but they were getting points with difficult baskets for the most part. The Knicks scoring easy baskets, that's when you win games in the NBA, is when you're able to score a bunch of your points by wide open looks or an uncontested layup or move to the basket. That's what the Thunder has to eliminate. Teams are still going to score. These are professional basketball players. They're going to score points. They're going to figure out a way to get the job done, even if you play really good defense on them. But you're really going to have a much better shot at winning if you play that lockdown defense that we saw in the second half. And Barry, I think the frustration will be back. Maybe the fans grumbling and some clips of themselves looking frustrated. Maybe that'll get them over the hump because everybody was frustrated in that performance in the first half. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.